This isn't just about clutter. This is about taking your life back. All across the country, older adults are finally letting go of decades of stuff that's been weighing them down. And it's happening in just 2 days. No overwhelm, no regret, just a simple, powerful method that helps you breathe easier, move freely, and feel more in control of your space and your story. If you've ever felt buried under memories, papers, and maybe someday items, you're not alone. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the exact steps real seniors are using to clear out a lifetime of clutter, and how you can do the same. Starting today, this is more than just tidying up. This is a reset, a relief, and a gift to your future self. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a method that works for your stage of life, your pace, and your home. If you're over 60, you've likely spent decades building a life, raising a family, collecting memories, holding on to things that once mattered deeply. And now, it's all around you. The gifts you didn't use, the papers you meant to file, the clothes that no longer fit but still hold meaning. Letting go isn't just a task, it's emotional. It's personal. Each item feels like a part of your story. But over time, that clutter doesn't just take up space in your home. It takes up space in your mind and heart. You might feel guilty for throwing things out, overwhelmed by where to begin, or afraid of forgetting something important. These feelings are real, and you're not alone. Thousands of seniors feel the same way. But here's the truth. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means creating space for what still matters. And it starts with a simple shift. One decision at a time. One drawer. One memory. One step toward freedom. Today on Simplify After 60, I'm sharing a method that's helped hundreds of older adults clear out years of clutter, quickly, gently, and without any shame. And the best part? It only takes 2 days. You don't need to do it all at once. You don't need to feel overwhelmed. Just follow this step-by-step plan. And by the 15-minute mark, you'll already feel lighter, clearer, and more in control. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to start your own 2-day declutter designed specifically for this stage of life. Day 1. Lightening the load. Emotional prep plus easy wins. 1. Start small, the 20-minute sweep. The first step to clearing out a lifetime of clutter? Don't start big. Start small, really small. One drawer, one shelf, one box. That's it. It's tempting to think you have to tackle the whole garage or the entire attic to make progress. But that's where overwhelm begins. The real key is momentum. And momentum starts with one 20-minute sweep. Set a timer. Pick a spot that doesn't carry too much emotional weight. Think expired medications, junk mail, old manuals, broken gadgets, tangled cords you haven't touched in years. These are the items that have no sentimental hold but quietly fill your space. Removing just a handful of them can already make the room feel lighter. Why 20 minutes? Because it's long enough to make progress, but short enough that it doesn't feel like a chore. And once you're in motion, something shifts. You start noticing how much you've been holding on to that serves no purpose anymore. You might even surprise yourself with how much you're ready to release. Here's the trick. Don't get stuck sorting everything perfectly. If you're unsure about something, set it aside in a decide later box. The goal here isn't perfection, it's progress. And progress feels good. One woman who used this method started with a drawer in her kitchen. 20 minutes later, not only had she cleared it out, but she found a postcard from her honeymoon in 1972. It brought tears, laughter, and a reminder of how much joy is buried beneath the mess. That's the magic of starting small. You don't just find old things. You reconnect with forgotten moments and make room for new ones. You might think, what difference can 20 minutes make? But this isn't just about tidying up, it's about building confidence. One tiny success at a time. Because after that first drawer, you'll be ready for the next one. And by the end of day 1, you'll look around and realize you're already on your way. This method works for seniors because it honors your pace, your story, and your energy level. No pressure, no rush. Just a simple, doable starting point that builds momentum without stress. So ask yourself right now, what's one drawer or one shelf you could clear in 20 minutes? That's where you begin. And once you do, don't be surprised if you feel a little lighter, a little freer, and a lot more hopeful. 2. The maybe box strategy. Let's be honest, not everything is easy to let go of. Some items bring up questions, hesitation, or even guilt. What if I need this later? What if someone else wants it? What if I regret giving it away? This is where many seniors get stuck, not because they're unwilling to declutter, but because they care. Every object has a story, and some decisions just aren't clear in the moment. That's why the maybe box strategy is such a powerful tool. Here's how it works. As you declutter, set aside a designated box, or bin, or bag, and label it clearly. Maybe box, today's date. Whenever you come across an item you're unsure about, something you can't quite toss or keep with confidence, it goes in the maybe box. No pressure to decide on the spot. No mental tug of war. You're not discarding it. You're simply deferring the decision to a time when you'll have more clarity and emotional distance. Now, here's the key. Once you place something in the maybe box, don't open it for 30 days. Tuck it in a closet, under the bed, or in a quiet corner. After 30 days, check it again. If you didn't reach for anything in it, think about what that tells you. Most people discover that if they didn't need the item, or even remember what was in the box, they're finally ready to let it go. That pause gave them permission to step away from the emotional weight and revisit the item with a calmer mindset. One man I spoke with used this method for an entire stack of old magazines he'd saved, just in case. Gardening tips, travel articles, recipes from the 80s. He thought he'd missed them, but after a month, he couldn't remember a single article he had wanted to keep. He smiled, donated the whole stack, and felt 10 pounds lighter, mentally and physically. The maybe box gives you space to think without stalling your progress. It protects your emotions while still moving you forward. It's a respectful way to honor your connection to certain belongings without letting them control your space. And if, after 30 days, you still aren't sure, that's okay. Give it another 30. The point is progress, not perfection. So as you're sorting today or tomorrow, have that box ready. Let it be your buffer zone between yes and no. You're not getting rid of the memory. You're just creating a little distance to decide what truly matters moving forward. Remember, it's okay to not have all the answers today. What matters most is that you started. 3. The legacy filter. One of the most powerful tools in the decluttering process, especially later in life, is something I call the legacy filter. It's simple, but it can completely shift how you make decisions about what to keep and what to let go of. Here's how it works. As you go through your belongings, ask yourself this question. Would I want my children or grandchildren to have to deal with this? Not in a judgmental or critical way, but in a thoughtful, loving way. Imagine them going through your things one day. Would they know why this item mattered to you? Would it add to their understanding of your life? Or would it just overwhelm them? This filter is not about guilt. It's about grace, for yourself and for those you love. Many seniors hold on to things out of a sense of duty. I should keep this, just in case, or this might be useful someday. But when you pause and ask yourself, if it's something you truly want your family to sort through, suddenly the picture becomes clearer. One woman shared how her mother left behind over 30 boxes of papers, receipts, cards, clipped recipes, and old phone bills. None of it was labeled. None of it had clear meaning. And instead of feeling closer to her mom, she felt lost, burdened, and even a little resentful as she tried to make sense of it all. That's not the legacy you want to leave. Using this filter helps you choose with purpose. It doesn't mean you need to toss everything. In fact, it helps you identify what's truly worth saving. Letters, photos, heirlooms, stories worth telling. Those are the treasures your family will thank you for organizing and preserving. It also helps release the guilt around letting go of the rest. Ask yourself, will this item mean something to my loved ones? Does it tell a story I want remembered? Or is it something that served me, but no longer needs to be carried forward? One man I spoke with used this exact question while sorting through a garage, full of tools and old paint cans. He realized his grandson wouldn't know what to do with most of it, and certainly wouldn't want to spend hours figuring it out. So, he donated what was useful, responsibly disposed of the rest, and kept just a few special tools to pass down, with a story attached. The legacy filter empowers you to make decisions with clarity, compassion, and purpose. You're not just decluttering, you're shaping the legacy you'll leave behind. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give your family. Less stress, more understanding, and a clearer glimpse into the life you lived and the values you held dear. So the next time you feel stuck on whether to keep something, pause and ask, Would I want my loved ones to inherit this task or this treasure? That one question can change everything. Day 2. The heart work, sentimental items plus letting go. 4. Digitize the memories. If you've lived a full life, and let's face it, you have, then you probably have boxes or albums filled with photos, letters, cards, and keepsakes that hold deep meaning. These are the moments that shaped your story: birthdays, graduations, handwritten notes from loved ones, maybe even a wedding invitation from decades ago. These items matter. They tell your story, but when they pile up, they can also start to feel like a burden. Here's the truth. You don't have to choose between keeping your memories and freeing up your space. You can have both, and it starts by digitizing the moments you want to preserve. This simple app made downsizing 5 photo albums take just 20 minutes. That's right, technology doesn't have to be intimidating. With a smartphone or tablet and a user-friendly app like Google Photoscan, Microsoft Lens, or even your phone's built-in camera, you can quickly and easily scan old photographs, greeting cards, or handwritten letters. These apps automatically crop and enhance the image, so the final result is clear, vibrant, and shareable. Why does this matter? Because memories aren't in the physical paper, they're in the meaning. And by digitizing them, you ensure they last longer and can be shared more widely. You can send your grandkids a copy of that photo of you in high school. You can preserve your parents' old love letters without stuffing them into a shoebox. You can even create a digital album that your whole family can enjoy for generations. One woman I spoke with used this method to digitize a drawer full of birthday cards from her late husband. She saved a few of the most meaningful ones physically, but scanned the rest. Now, she can revisit those words anytime, without worrying about fading ink or a cluttered drawer. And the best part? She shared them with her daughter, who had never seen some of them. It sparked a beautiful conversation, and even a few tears. Digitizing also helps with tough decisions. When you're not sure whether to keep or toss something, scanning it gives you the best of both worlds. You preserve the sentiment, the memory, the handwriting, but free yourself from the physical clutter. 5. The one box of memories rule. When you've lived a rich, full life, it's natural to collect things that tell your story: photos, letters, trinkets, souvenirs, and sentimental keepsakes from the people and moments that shaped you. But over time, these items can quietly take over closets, drawers, and storage bins, and that emotional weight can be just as heavy as the physical clutter. That's why I want to introduce a gentle but powerful strategy: the one box of memories rule. It's simple. Choose one beautiful, meaningful box. That's your memory box. It could be a small chest, a decorative bin, or even a vintage suitcase, something that feels special. Into that box, you place only the most treasured, irreplaceable keepsakes, the things that truly speak to your heart. The rest, you digitize, donate, or let go. This rule isn't about throwing away your history. It's about curating it, honoring your story instead of drowning in it. Because when everything is special, nothing stands out. But when you intentionally choose what stays, each piece carries more meaning. A handwritten letter from your mother, a pressed flower from your wedding day, a drawing from your grandchild. Those are worth holding on to. And when they all live in one place, that box becomes a time capsule, easy to revisit, easy to pass on, and a joy to open. Let's be honest, too many memory boxes turn into mystery boxes. Unlabeled papers, faded receipts, random souvenirs, and nobody knows what's important and what isn't. By limiting yourself to one box, you force clarity. You choose quality over quantity. And in doing so, you create a gift for your future self and for your loved ones. Here's a story I often share. One senior couple decided to follow this rule after decades of holding on to 8 full bins of keepsakes. They spent one weekend sitting together, reminiscing, laughing, even crying as they sorted through it all. At the end, they each kept a single memory box. The rest, scanned, donated, or released with love. Their words? It feels like we kept the soul of it all, without the weight. You don't have to do it all in one day. Start a keep pile and a let go pile. Pick a few items each day. If it brings deep joy or tells part of your story that no one else could, it belongs in the box. If not, it served its time. And remember, letting go of the object doesn't mean letting go of the memory. Digitize a photo of it. Write a note about its meaning. Share the story with someone. That's how memories stay alive, not in the clutter, but in connection. So go ahead, pick your box, make it beautiful, fill it with the best of your story, because one well-loved box of memories can say far more than 10 forgotten ones ever will. 6. Give with purpose. One of the most meaningful ways to let go of your belongings is to give them with purpose. Not just tossing things in a trash bag or leaving them out for pickup, but donating with intention, knowing your items will go on to help someone else. Because here's the truth. What you no longer need might be exactly what someone else is praying for. Start by looking at the items that are still useful: coats, shoes, kitchenware, blankets, books, or even craft supplies. Instead of focusing on what you're losing, ask yourself, who could this help? Then, match the item with the right home. That warm coat. It could bring comfort to someone in a local homeless shelter. Those dishes you barely use? A young family starting over could put them to daily use. Books you've read and loved? A community center, school, or senior living library might welcome them with open arms. Yarn, puzzles, or games. A nearby nursing home or daycare could turn them into smiles. Suddenly, your act of letting go becomes an act of generosity. That's what makes this step feel so good. It's not just about clearing space. It's about creating impact. Giving away my old coats turned into something I never expected. One woman I spoke with had a closet full of coats she hadn't worn in years. Nice ones, too, but they just sat there and used. She decided to donate them to a local women's shelter. A few weeks later, she got a handwritten thank you note from a young mother who received one of the coats. It brought her to tears. That coat didn't just warm someone's body, it warmed 2 hearts that day. This kind of giving has a ripple effect. You feel lighter. Someone else feels supported. And instead of focusing on what's gone, you focus on what you've shared. Don't know where to start? Try local shelters, senior centers, churches, or community outreach programs, veterans organizations, Habitat for Humanity restores, foster care support groups. Even better, ask around in your own neighborhood. Someone nearby may know exactly who could use what you're ready to pass along. And here's a tip. Keep a giving box in your home for a few weeks. Every time you come across something you no longer need, but still holds value, add it to the box. When it's full, choose a place that aligns with your values and drop it off. Giving with purpose turns decluttering into a meaningful act of connection. It's not just clearing space, it's building legacy. You're using your lifetime of gathering to support someone else's beginning or second chance. So next time you hesitate to part with something, ask yourself, who could this help right now? Because sometimes, the greatest joy doesn't come from keeping, it comes from giving. When I helped my aunt clear her home before moving into senior housing, we cried over old recipes tucked in cookbooks she hadn't opened in years. Each one held a memory: Sunday dinners, birthdays, quiet nights with family. But as we sorted through them, something unexpected happened. We laughed, we told stories, we remembered, and most of all, we felt free. She let go of what she didn't need, without losing what mattered. By the end of the weekend, her small new apartment didn't feel like a step down. It felt like a fresh start. Peaceful, organized, and completely her. She kept one box of keepsakes, scanned old photos to share with the grandkids, and gave her favorite baking dish to a neighbor who always admired it. That simple act of giving brought her more joy than she expected. She looked around at the end and said, "I didn't know I was carrying so much until I put it down." And she's not alone. Mary, 72, shared, "Once I started, I realized I was holding on to more guilt than stuff. Now, my home feels like me again." These stories aren't rare, they're real, and they can be yours too. Look at the difference. What used to feel heavy, cluttered, and overwhelming now feels peaceful, breathable, and light. Every item that once weighed on your mind is gone, or finally in its rightful place. And in its place? Space. Calm. A deep exhale. This is more than a tidy room. It's a shift in energy. That drawer that once made you cringe, now it opens with ease. The hallway closet that overflowed, now it welcomes you in. Less stuff, more peace. And the best part? You did it. You faced the emotional weight, the indecision, the "what if I need this" moments, and came out stronger, lighter, and more in control of your space and your story. This is what freedom feels like, not just physical, but emotional. You're no longer surrounded by the past. You're supported by what matters now. And if this is what just 2 days of focused effort can do, imagine what's possible next weekend or next month. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. One shelf, one drawer, one decision at a time. You've already started. And you're not just decluttering a house. You're reclaiming your peace. What's the one item you've been holding on to that's the hardest to let go of? Share below. I might feature your story. If this inspired you, hit that thumbs up. It really helps others find this video. And don't forget to subscribe to Simplify After 60 for more uplifting, doable life tips made simple after 60.